Yes.
So, in the last video, Neha, we started discussing the tense. For example, you told me that tense is a very complicated problem for the people. All the vernacular readers, learners, for example, the people who speak Hindi or Punjabi, mostly they are afraid of the tense, and they think see, it is a very complicated kind of issue, and they have their own kind of problems with learning the tense. So I made it very clear to you that in our system that we call vernacular bridge course to learn English, the whole grammar is covered, but in a way that uh, the learner doesn't feel oppressed by the grammar, by the discussion of grammar. See, he understands and again, when we work in the system, the grammar is not only learned. See, my experience up to now is that any learner working in our system actually comes to understand grammar. So grammar is registered at the level of understanding, not merely learning. So this is what happens if he follows this technique that we are using. So we continue with the discussion, but before we start, let us recall one thing. See, the one thing that we did last time was that the whole tense is covered if any learner starts saying the 8 structures that he uses in mother tongue in English. That's all.
Yes.
So this is the point that I made last time, that all of us in our Hindi or Punjabi, we Hindi, Punjabi, even English. My impression is that in all the languages there are only 8 basic structures. 8 basic structures, and our Punjabi or Hindi learner already knows them. So we make them aware of the difference of those structures, and then he starts saying those structures in English with the help of verb patterns. And the tense is mastered, because as I told you last time, a tense is only the form of verb in time, and the
Right.
8 patterns that he will start using, they fully cover the tense, the whole range of the tense is covered. Rather, I told you that day that we help the learner cover extra territory, because right in the beginning we teach him 2 more sentences also: intention sentences and compulsion sentences.
Compulsion.
This is we already have discussed all this, and that
Right.
day, with one example on a teacher, we try to find out those 8 structures, and we try to name them also. The listed 8 structures were: things, number one, when you are describing the object; number two, possession, when you tell that one thing is owning another thing, the ownership is reflected in our possession sentences. And then the three main activities: simple activity, when you simply share things with other people; and then continuing activity, that describes the activity that is going on; and
Point.
then the perfect activity, perfect the activity was over at a given moment of time. And then next was intention, then compulsion, then modals.
Yes.
We took up an example that day, and we understood the whole thing. And last evening when you sent me those sentences, they were in perfect order. The sentences that you wrote, you followed the same. You at once grasped the idea. This is things, possessions. You covered all that structure very beautifully in that small passage that you sent to me in Hindi last evening.
Right.
And now, see, 2 points that I want to make very clear for our learners. First point is that in the beginning, we are going to use a lot of mother tongue. Very soon, see, to help the reader understand the whole idea, very soon we are going to start some kind of practice exercises, where we shall be using our mother tongue. We shall be using Hindi now. See, just to make the idea of those structures more clear. So first thing that I want to warn my learners, that they should not again be misled by those people who think that if you start speaking Hindi or Punjabi, then you can't teach English. Then you can't teach English. Huh? So let us caution our learners that we are going to use Hindi very soon, but they should not be unnecessarily kind of misguided by those people who tell them that the moment somebody speaks Hindi, that person cannot teach English. It is a very
Right.
faulty idea. As I
Yes.
explained to you, see, mother tongue is the richest source of understanding things very clearly, and we shall use our mother tongue to make everything clear to our learners. See, the spoken English programs like British Council program or American program. See, no doubt they talk about speaking English with the learners, but what will a learner do when he has confusion about the sentence structures? So
Yes.
we are so speaking Hindi and Punjabi, we are basically removing all the confusion about the structures from our learners. Okay,
Exactly.
so so first point, our learners should probably be relaxed to hear this. That we are using Hindi now just to make the whole thing very clear to them,
Clear.
and that would be in the beginning only. In the beginning,
Right.
just to make all the things clear to them in Hindi, to make all the things clear to them, we shall be using mother tongue initially, so that there are no dark areas or gray areas left in their understanding. See,
Right.
uh, they should clearly know that this is how I am very confidently using my mother tongue, and these very structure very soon I'm going to say them in English. This is one point that I wanted to make clear. Okay, that we are going to use a lot of Hindi in the beginning, and this Hindi is to remove all the confusion and all the doubts from the minds of our learners. Okay, so
Right.
we shall practice it like this. So this is one point that I wanted to tell our learners. And the second point is that our learners should rest assured that following this new and interesting method, we would teach him the whole grammar also. We are
Yes.
aware of grammar. Like, again, let me remind you that I listed 10 grammatical topics that day, beginning with the tense, and then voice, then narration, then parts of speech, and determiners, qualifiers, phrases, non-finites, and then clauses, and then modals.
Yes.
This is the whole grammar. The second thing that I want to assure our learner is that we are going to help him understand the whole grammar in this manner. Okay, so we shall be using our mother tongue. Nobody should dismiss this thing by saying it is translation. It is not that, actually, whatever they dismiss as translation method, they dismiss too much grammar. In translation method, that is too much grammar is there, they dismiss that idea, and by mistake they start criticizing their mother tongue also. Neha, there is a beautiful idiom in English:
Yes,
throw
sir.
the baby away, to throw the baby away with the bath water. So
Right.
bath water should be thrown away, not the baby. Mother tongue is a very useful baby that will grow into a wonderful, beautiful, see, kind of communication model. Understand? And so,
Yes.
what is to be thrown away? The thing that is to be thrown away is unnecessary grammar or grammatical jargon. So
Yes.
let us now directly take up the exercise work with which our learner will probably feel help to understand how in his mother tongue he uses only 8 structures. So we are going to help that learner know and start identifying those structures. Okay, acha, for that I told you that you just keep by your side any Hindi text, any book, or and see, you will read out a few lines, and I will try to tell you that how everything that you are reading out for me from anywhere, it is nothing beyond those 8 structures. This what we have to prove to our learner. Okay, now read out any lines that you have picked up for today. Let us see.
कुल्लू से मनाली जाने वाली सड़क धीरे-धीरे ऊंची होती जाती है। मार्ग के दोनों ओर प्राकृतिक दृश्य बहुत ही मनमोहक हैं। रास्ते में दोनों ओर कहीं-कहीं सेबों के बागान हैं, पाइन और देवदार वृक्षों की भरमार है, विभिन्न रंग-बिरंगे खुशबूदार फूलों के बगीचे सैलानियों का मन मोह लेते हैं। Is it sufficient?
Good. Now take up these. Now it is a description of a certain kind of situation, and now you take up one sentence at a time. Which is the first sentence? Read out the first sentence.
कुल्लू से मनाली जाने वाली सड़क धीरे-धीरे ऊंची होती जाती है।
ऊंची होती जाती है. Okay, ऊंची होती जाती है. This is simple. This is simple
Exactly.
activity.
Yes.
ठीक है? This is
Yes.
simple. Yes. हाँ, चलो good. हाँ.
मार्ग के दोनों ओर प्राकृतिक दृश्य बहुत ही मनमोहक हैं।
Now this is a things sentence. There is
Right.
no activity. There is no activity here. It is a
Yes.
things attraction. things attract. Next, no?
रास्ते में दोनों ओर कहीं कहीं सेबों के बागान हैं.
Again, it's think sentence. There is no activity, there is only description. Yes.
विभिन्न रंग बिरंगे खुशबूदार फूलों के बगीचे सैलानियों का मन मोह लेते हैं.
Again, simple. It is simple. Simple activity. Yes, yes. Next.
बर्फ से ढका पर्वत सुबह की सूर्य रश्मियों से सोने के समान चमक रहा है.
This is continuing. This is continuing subtract.
पर्वत कभी दूर तो कभी पास दिखने लगते हैं.
Simple. It is simple.
सूर्य की गर्मी के प्रभाव से बर्फ गलकर जल के रूप में नीचे की ओर प्रवाहित हो रही है.
This is continuing. This is
Yes, sir. Okay. हम लोगों ने इस बस यात्रा के दौरान हमेशा व्यास की उपस्थिति का अनुभव किया है.
Perfect. This is perfect.
Right. Yes.
This is perfect.
Okay. ऐसा लगता है जैसे वह हमारे आसपास ही है.
Now look at this subtraction. This sentence is made up of two sentences. Yes, the two subtractions. ऐसा लगता है. This is simple. ऐसा लगता है. This is simple. This is simple. कि ये हमारे कहीं आसपास ही है. This is things.
Right.
Last sentence was a combination of simple plus things.
Yes, sir. And I'm telling you, this is amazing trick because we are getting the clarity of concept.
So, yes. No, this is what we have to do. This is what I want to stress once again. Yes. Our learner can best learn English very fast by mastering first this structure identification in the mother tongue. This is what we are doing for that. Now, Neha, again, now you have read out all these lines. Now, this is the practice that that our reader should do, our learner should do. For example, he should pick up any such paragraph, or he should write any paragraph himself or herself. Like you wrote a paragraph yesterday. Any learner can just sit down and let their mind wander and let them write anything, and then whatever they have written, then they should start identifying structures. Okay,
exactly.
And they will always find that there is no ninth structure. That there are only 8 structures. Now, whatever you have read up to now, you have read so many lines, so many sentences. Now, did you? I remember that in this structure, we had a thing structure, and we had a simple. We had continuing, and we had a perfect structure also.
Right.
So many lines you have read, and all those they covered only 4 structures up to now. There was no possession structure here. There was no intention structure. There was no compulsion structure, and there was no modal structure in whatever you have read up to now. Okay. Acha, now see, to again this writing in Hindi and identifying structures, this is one thing that our learner should start doing at once. This is one thing. And the second thing is that this very exercise will help the learner start learning English words also. How? For example, how? Now, see, whatever he writes, whatever our learner is writing in Hindi or Punjabi, next moment he should start thinking, if I want to say this in English, which are my words of need? Yes. So he himself has written something or picked up and read something from the mother tongue, and then he needs to find out those words in English which have kindled his curiosity. For example, now again, Neha, this second one exercise is that you will identify the sentences like we have identified the structures up to now. Yes. The second exercise is also we go to the first sentence again and we read them out, and let us see which are the words of need in English that we can learn from here. Let us start from sentence first. Yes.
तो कुल्लू से मनाली जाने वाली सड़क धीरे धीरे ऊंची होती जाती है.
Now look at this sentence. Is there any word in this sentence that we do not know if we want to say the sentence in English, for example? Now, for example, ऊंची होती जाती है, ठीक है ना? ऊंची होती जाती है. Now this expression, to get higher and higher, to get
Higher.
higher, yes, to get higher and higher. Okay, this is the see, basic word was get what, higher and higher, higher and higher. So get is the verb that our learner must have learned. Chalo, move on to the second sentence. Which is the second sentence?
मार्ग के दोनों ओर प्राकृतिक दृश्य बहुत ही मनमोहक हैं.
Any difficult word? On both the sides of the road. दोनों तरफ means both sides. मनमोहक, हाँ, मनमोहक को हम क्या कहेंगे? Very scenic, very beautiful. Yes, two words will do. For example, very beautiful, very enchanting, very beautiful, and very beautiful would do. That's all. Then next.
रास्ते में दोनों ओर कहीं कहीं सेबों के बागान हैं.
Yes. Now let us come here. Now, sebon ke bagan. Now, this is an important word. For example, there are two types of bagan जो होते हैं, दो किस्म के होते हैं. एक तो बाग होते हैं फूलों वाले, जहां फूल उगते हैं, और एक वो बाग होते हैं जहां पे फल उगते हैं. तो यहाँ बच्चों को बताना चाहिए कि जो फल उगने वाले बागान होते हैं उनको हम कहते हैं ऑर्चर्ड्स. ऑर्चर्ड्स, ORCHARDS. ऑर्चर्ड्स, ठीक है. सो एप्पल ऑर्चर्ड वर्ड आ गया. और नेहा, जब हम ऐसे काम करते हैं ना, then by association we learn many other words also. For example, our learner here, once he finds out the difference between a garden and an orchard, he should also know that there is a difference between flower and blossom also. Blossom, BL. Yes, not here. Flower means fool. Blossom also means fool. BLOSSOM. But our learner finds out that flower is only that kind of flower which only gives fragrance. But a blossom is a flower that finally matures into a fruit. देखो ये फर्क होता है. जो खुशबूदार होते हैं उनको हम जो सिर्फ खुशबू देते हैं उनको हम कहते हैं फूल, और उनके लिए वर्ड है फ्लावर. FLOWR. और ये जो फलों के बाग वाले फूल होते हैं उनको हम कहते हैं blossoms. One point. Again, one point. And another point is that there is another third word also, bloom. BLOOM, bloom. Bloom also means flower, and bloom is common. Bloom can be used for flowers also, and bloom can be used for blossoms also. Okay, this is one idea. And again, like I told you, that we will cover grammar in a way that goes to the level of understanding. Now, let me make a new point here for my learners. Our learners should know that they fully master one particular word if they know four things about that word. See, when you say that I have mastered a word, you should know four things about that word. Which are those four things? Number one, spelling. Number two, pronunciation. Right. Number three, meaning. And number fourth thing is very important. We call it function. The function of that word. Okay. Now see what happens. What happens in schools? What most of the teachers do? They give the spelling to the learner and they give the meaning also. They never stress the importance of pronunciation, and they never talk about function also. They don't know. No, they don't know that the fourth thing is very important. Now see, what are these four things? Spellings, it is very clear. How do we write that word? And then pronunciation is also very clear. How to pronounce that word? And let me tell my learners that it is very important that from today onwards, they become very, very focused on pronunciation also. Because English is not our mother tongue. And sometimes we speak only that English which we have heard our teachers speak. Mostly our teachers, because the language is an alien language for our teachers also. So most of the time they continue mispronouncing a word, and we inherit that wrong pronunciation. Okay, and I want to warn my learners from today onwards that they must themselves check the pronunciation of every word that they learn.
Yes.
Sometimes there are very glaring mistakes, and so you would be surprised that some words are so commonly mispronounced by teachers and students that
Exactly.
you simply wonder. I give you two examples. A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U. What do people call it? They call them vowels. Vowels.
Vowel. But
These, look here. It is a totally wrong pronunciation.
I
These vowels.
wow. Exactly.
Yes, we don't call them vowels. We call them vowels.
Wow.
Okay, and similarly, our eighth category modal modals. 90% of the teachers mispronounce it as modals or modals.
Yes,
They,
sir. I come
they
across so many times. I come across so many times.
Yes, so look at these two examples of mispronunciation: vowel words, vowel sounds, and then modals. Modals are mood verbs. So now I have given these two common examples to my learners so that they know that they are to be very careful about the function of a word. Now, when you focus on the function of the word, then you understand all the parts of speech
Uh,
that you have been taught separately as a grammar topic.
yes.
Now, it is again very surprising that all the teachers, they teach in schools and they teach everything. They teach parts of speech also. But whenever I ask them, "Hey, what is the fourth thing about a word?" First is spelling, second pronunciation,
Right.
third meaning, and fourth function. Whenever I have asked a teacher, what is this function? What is the function of a word? You would be surprised. 90% of them, they do not know the function means which part of speech that word is working as a noun, or as an action word, or as an adjective, or an adverb. Remember the list of grammar topics. The list of grammar topics, parts of speech was the fourth. It is the fourth on our list. So we already have started tense, and we now have started the parts of speech also. Because we would ask our students, whenever they master a word, they should also pay attention to the function of that word also. Whether
Exactly.
it is an action word, means a verb, whether it is a naming word, a noun, or
Now,
whether it is an adjective or an adverb.
yes, sir.
See, I'll give one example to make this idea of function more clear to the learners. I give you another example. See, there are three sentences that I will speak out. I have love for my country. I have love for my country. Second sentence is I love my country.
My God.
I love my country. Third sentence is that there is a love letter in my pocket. There is a love letter in my. Look at these three sentences. My learner should know that the spellings of love are the same. LOVE
Yes.
spellings are the same.
Right.
Pronunciation is the same. Meaning is also the same. Meaning. Now, but look now what this
Yes.
word does in these three sentences. In the first sentence, when I say कि I have love for my country, मुझे मेरे
Yes.
देश
Yes.
से प्रेम है.
Yeah.
Prem.
I-
Here, prem is a naming word. Here, love
Yes.
means prem, a naming word. And when I say I love my country, इसका
Wow.
मतलब है कि मैं अपने देश से प्रेम करता हूं.
And
यहाँ लव का मतलब हो गया प्रेम करना. वहां वहां सिर्फ प्रेम था, और
हाँ.
यहाँ हो गया प्रेम करना. ये
Yes.
एक्शन वर्ड. और थर्ड सेंटेंस के मेरी जेब में आई हैव अ लव लेटर इन माय पॉकेट. मेरी
Yes.
मेरी जेब में एक प्रेम भरा पत्र है. हियर लव मीन्स प्रेम भरा.
Yes.
No, this is the beauty of the function. The same word, same spelling, same pronunciation, same meaning, but in one sentence it was prem, in the second sentence prem karna, in third it was prem bhara. Prem bhara. This
Yes,
was
sir.
this was the third sentence. And again, what made you what made me tell you all these things? Because we were discussing those two words, those three words: flower, bloom, and blossom.
Yes.
आई हैव टोल्ड यू ऑलरेडी. फ्लावर क्या होता है? जो खुशबू वाला फूल होता है उसको आप रोज इज अ फ्लावर, रोज अ फ्लावर,
Yes.
अच्छा. और उधर फिर ब्लॉसम क्या होता है? जहां जिसको फल लगते हैं, वो फल
Right.
वाले, ठीक है. और ब्लूम दोनों के लिए कॉमन है. ब्लूम कैन बी यूज फॉर फ्लावर आल्सो, फॉर ब्लॉसम आल्सो. ये ये क्या था? जब मैं कहता हूं फ्लावर फूल, ब्लूम फूल, ब्लॉसम फूल, ये नेमिंग. दिस इज द नेमिंग फंक्शन. पर नेहा, you will find out that ये तीनों जो हैं, all these three, they can be used as action words also. Action words.
Exactly. Right,
हाँ.
sir.
हाँ, पौधे खिल रहे हैं. The
Yes.
flowers are flowers are, the plants are flowering, the plants are blooming, the plants are blossoming. So these three can be used as action words.
Yes.
Okay,
So
हाँ,
yes, I would like to tell you something. When I deal with my students, so most of the time, just to make them understand how a word functions differently in different sentences. So I used to ask them to frame a sentence randomly. Be like let's say book. So book. So most of the time, I get only one answer. I love books. I have my Hindi book. No one goes with I need to book a cab for two or I want to book a hotel for me. So
yes,
I ask, yes, sir. So I ask this question, then I make them understand that you need to understand how we can play with words. It's not only about that book. Book is not only that object, that thing, kitab. Same with light. When I ask to make a sentence light, so I get turn the light on, turn the light off. No one ever tells me I like wearing light color suit
yes,
or my face lights up when I see my child. So
yes,
in this way,
yes.
I try to make them understand because
हाँ,
they don't know. They don't know basic step to get that understanding, get that clarity. So I don't know why our education system is so lenient with this language because this is the basic concept that every teacher should make clear for their students. So
it is nothing but a story of pain and suffering of the students. Forget
right,
about that. But look here. Now, probably from today onwards, you should make it easier to see. You should make this idea easier to understand for your learners by telling them. Okay, actually focus on the function of a word. Playing
yes,
now, when we say that we can play with the words, it is a kind of very vague. It is a vague kind of term. It is a vague kind of term. But when we tell them, okay, the same word as a naming word, it means book. But
book,
the same word with the same word as an action word means book karna. When
right,
you will start telling them like this, okay, then probably they would understand it better. Okay, I should focus more on the function of my. Now look, whenever I learn a word, I should know that I know the spelling, I know the meaning, I know the pronunciation, but now I also know I can my according to my need, I can use it as a noun. For example, I have a book, ये noun है, and second is I have booked a cab. Here it is a
right,
it is an action word, and then
right,
I say that again. The next I say I have bought a new book stand. I have bought a new book stand. Here book becomes a qualifier. It becomes an adjective. Okay,
right,
so see, so when we tell them, if you say that you have to play with words, they will not grasp this idea. But if you
right.
tell them from now on that also master the function of a word, then the thing will become more clear for the child. Acha, Neha, we have made very two or three important points of discussion today, but and probably the video is becoming very long. Matlab, we have to try to see that within the next 2 minutes we try to wrap up today's interaction so that it doesn't become too long. Acha, so
Right.
now read out the next sentences quickly.
उन्होंने इस बस यात्रा के दौरान हमेशा व्यास की उपस्थिति का अनुभव किया है.
मतलब अनुभव किया है. टू एक्सपीरियंस. अनुभव होता है, आप देखो. हाँ, अनुभव जो है इसकी इंग्लिश क्या होती है? एक्सपीरियंस. अब देखो, अगेन अगेन एक्सपीरियंस नेमिंग वर्ड भी है, अनुभव.
हाँ,
और फिर देन एक्सपीरियंस एक्शन वर्ड भी है, अनुभव करना.
right.
एक्सपीरियंस एक्सपीरियंस एक्सपीरियंस. सो
Yes.
नेक्स्ट सेंटेंस.
ऐसा लगता है जैसे वे हमारे आसपास ही है.
हाँ, सो ऐसा लगता है, मतलब इट सीम्स
Yes.
जो लगता है ना, इसके लिए दो वर्ड हम यूज करते हैं कई कई बार. हाँ, यस, टू. एक तो फील वर्ड यूज होता है, मुझे ये बुरा लगता है, आई फील बैड अबाउट इट. एक तो फील यूज करते हैं. एक
हाँ,
सीम मैंने लगता नजर आता है. फील एंड सीम हम लगता के लिए यूज करते हैं. तो आसपास मीन्स जस्ट क्लोज टू अस, नियर अस. आसपास ही है. हाँ, मतलब नियर अस, इट इज वेरी नियर अस. हाँ, नेक्स्ट क्या था?
okay. Next we can see that सामने के पर्वत से बर्फ गल चुकी है.
मेल्ट. अब गलने की अंग्रेजी यहाँ पे हम क्या लगाएंगे? मेल्ट. मेल्ट है.
Next.
मेल्टेड. यस. हाँ.
हम मंडी कुल्लू रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट की बस से यात्रा कर रहे हैं.
ट्रेवलिंग, वही ट्रेवल आ गया. ट्रेवल मीन्स यात्रा, ट्रेवल मीन्स यात्रा करना, ट्रेवलिंग बाय. ओके, एनी अदर वर्ड?
पर्वत की सुंदरता में कोई अंतर नहीं आया है.
हाँ, so नो डिफरेंस, नो चेंज. अंतर होता है चेंज और डिफरेंस, और ये परफेक्ट है ना, अंतर नहीं आया है. इट इज अ परफेक्ट स्ट्रक्चर, इट इज अ परफेक्ट स्ट्रक्चर. So Neha, 2 points we have made today, and now we will continue with this kind of thing till everything becomes more clear to our learners. So let me wrap up the whole thing. I told them that we shall use mother tongue to make them totally clear about the structures that the learner is to say in English. That's all. We'll use Hindi structures or Hindi examples also. Initially we will use mother tongue to help our learners fully understand its structures, identify its structures, so that they can say very easily in English all those things. And second thing, we shall teach them full grammar at the level of understanding. So already our learner now knows that we have started covering his tense also, and we have started a very interesting discussion on the parts of speech also.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Exactly, sir. Like I have no words. You are you are covering so many areas at one time. It's not only about tenses. We are getting that basic understanding of structure, sentence structure. Now we also we are covering spellings and one word with different parts of speech and with different meanings. So it's like really, sir. Even I wasn't aware of this idea of teaching because I never have this kind of experience. So I'm really blessed because I'm getting to know so many of things.
Neha, for me also, you are a God sent for me also. You know, look here, my team, you see my YouTube channel. You are giving, matlab that the reference to, see whatever video you are posting over there. My YouTube channel link is also given over there, and you are there. So we will try to, now we have started properly. We will give them a long series of kind of full practice and understanding, and you know, both of us, and you are also in it not for the sake of any money. I am also into it not for the sake of money. We are to take the idea of learning English in a very far way to remotest corners of our country, so that everybody learns English very easily and entertaining. So Neha, you should not be thankful to you. I'm also thankful to you. God bless you. Now we will have another session at your convenience. Okay. Thank you very much. God bless you.